Hi folks, and welcome to my video. So what are we up to today? Well, today this is a new bobber that I bought, by the way. It's old school with the 19-inch front wheel, and I'm going to sort of set it up as a bit of a touring bike, really. I know a bobber's not really a tourer, but you know, with some panniers on and a bit of a rack on the back and stuff like that, you can actually you know, you could go away for a weekend on a bike like this and use it for a bit of touring. So yeah, so that was the plan. Anyway, I bought it off a guy on Facebook that was a motivated seller, shall we say, and it came as, it was bog standard really, but it had all like the aluminium engine casings and that, which I didn't really like, so I decided I was going to black it out a bit. So what I've done up to now is I've blacked out. I've had all these foot pegs and exhaust ceramic coated and stuff like that. I've got Hepco and Becker bags on it. So yeah, so I'm sort of halfway through. But anyway, one of the mods I wanted to do and talk to you about was the COC Customs Springer seat. Now I've got one of these on my other bobber, and it really is a game changer when it comes to comfort. Now I know there's a video already on YouTube of how to fit this kit, but he's used a different kit to me. There's two kits. There's one for a standard shock bobber, or a Fox shock, which is a factory option, or there's another kit which will fit with any shock. Well, my bike's got a Fox shock on it at the moment, but I may change it, so I bought the kit that will fit with any aftermarket shock, which is the same kit that I've got on my other bobber, which it runs an Öhlins shock. So yeah, so this one's a little bit more expensive than the stock kit, but I think it's worth it because it gives you the option to upgrade later on if you want to. So what I thought I'd do is just a little video of how this kit is installed and what makes it so good. Okay, so let's do a bit of an unboxing and we'll go from there. So COC Customs in Australia, and the guy who runs the company or designed this thing his name's Michael. A very helpful chap. Really well designed piece of kit, and comes with everything that you need to upgrade the job. Those are all your spring options, which we'll go through in a minute. And then this is the main bracket in here. As you can see, everything's very well packaged and thought out. I don't want to scratch it with a knife. So this is the main bracket, which replaces your bracket on your bobber. Fixing kit. This is one of the main components of the kit. It's where the springs sit. So basically what you have is different sets of springs depending on your weight. Now I'm around 80 kilos with my kit on, so what I use is this main spring here, and then you get a helper spring. So there are three of them. There's number one, which is the softest, number 2 in the middle, and number 3 if you're, you know, a bigger chap or chapess. So for me, I found on my other bobber that the mainspring plus number 2 spring worked really well. And then what you have is these are your bump stops basically, and they're marked with F and R, so it's forward or rearwards for your seat. So I like the seat at the front of this adjustable slot here. So if I were to use just the one spring and I had my seat at the front, then I would use F, and that would be my bump stop in there, and that's how that would be set up, like that. But so you use the bigger bump stop. But as I'm using a helper spring, because as I say, I'm around 80 kilos, so so that's the main spring, the helper spring, and then you go to these smaller bump stops, which again, because I have my seat forward, I use the one that's marked F, and that goes in there like that, and that goes in there like that, and then I'll show you in a minute how all this fits to the bike. But that's the basic setup. And then obviously your seat itself fits on this bracket, and it has to be the right way up, obviously. I have heard of people putting it on the wrong way around. So that's in the most forward position, that's in the most rear position. So it depends where you want that that bracket to be. Like I say, I have mine in the forward position, and then this fits in there, and yeah, it all fits on the bike. So, but there's a little bit of thought has to go into how you mount these bolts and everything. So we'll do that in a minute. I'll just mount the seat to here, which is just the normal 2 bolts that you removed off your standard seat, and they're tightened to 38 Newton meters. Okay, so just nip them up to 38 Newton meters. I don't use a torque wrench on them, to be honest, but that is the correct setting. So there we go. That's it for now, and we'll get around to the bike shortly, and I'll show you how it all fits on the bike. Okay. Okay, so once you've decided which springs you're going to use, it's time to just mock up the bracket onto the frame here. To do that, you need to remove this bush here, which should just push out, but on mine for some reason it's a bit stuck. So that's it. So that's not reused, like a little top hat bush. Forget about that now. Then we have a little spacer under here that I've already fitted, so I'll just show you that again. These are T55, by the way, Torx fittings. Okay, so it's just a little spacer like that, and that goes in that way, so left to right, the long way like that. So just push it underneath through the hole, and then put this fastener in. I'll do this later. I'll put a little bit of Loctite on it, but just for now it can just sit there like that, and then I'll nip that up later with the wrench. Then you need to get your bracket, and as you can see, there's an Allen grub screw in there, which where's the bolt? Sorry. Which rests when this is in position. This is your movement with the spring in position. So push your bolt through, and then just see where that sits when it's at the bottom, if it's how close it is to that shock absorber. There should be at least 3 to 5 millimeters of clearance there between the shock, and depending on which shock you've got, it'll obviously need adjustment. So if you haven't got enough adjustment, if it's too close, you can just wind that grub screw out slightly, and it'll increase the gap there. So that's it. But mine looks okay, to be fair. So I'm just going to there's about 5 mil clearance there. So that's how I'm gonna leave it then. So once you're happy with that, then you can fit your springs to the actual seat, and I'll show you how to do that now, and then put it all in and fasten everything up basically, and that is it. It's job done. I mean, it's not that complicated at all. It's quite easy. So first off, off camera, I'll just put a bit of Loctite on that and get that in place. That bit's finished, and then I'll set this up on the seat, and I'll show you how it all drops into place. So back in a minute. Okay, so now it's time to set this up on the bench, on the seat, with your spring choice and everything, so that then you can fit it to the bike. Just one correction I'd like to make: these fixings, the bolts that we're using, they're T50, not T55. I said 55, I'm sure, before, but they're T50. So basically what we do is we've got our forward, because we have the seat in the forward position, the main spring sits in there, the helper spring sits in there, and then your forward bump stop sits in there. And then we have the main bracket, which sits on the top there, and make sure that the holes are aligned in the frame there. Just to do that, you can just put the fastener through like that loosely, so everything's in place. And then Michael, helpfully, because if you tip that upside down now, it all falls out. So the trick is to put a Velcro strap, which comes in the kit, around the whole lot. It's very, very sticky Velcro, this actually. Put strap around the whole lot, nice and snug, and that will hold it in place while you then fit it on the bike. Okay, so that's how it should look before you fit it on the bike. And now we'll place it on the bike, and that's it. Do the fasteners up. Okay, so now we've got to the point where we need to fit the seat. Now the main bolt goes through from the left, so this bolt here goes through from the left hand side, so it's a little bit jiggery pokery to get everything lined up, and a spare pair of hands would probably help. But just slide the seat in like that, try and hold it up firmly, and then put your bolt through, and that's it, we're through. So we can remove the Velcro strap now, if I can find the end, and it is all in place. So the only bit remaining now is I'll just get rid of that, this final fastener, which again is T50, needs to go in from this side, and again a little bit of Loctite on it. So I'll do that now, and we'll finish the job off. Michael supplies everything that you need, so you even get the Loctite as well, just a little bit in there. and then maybe if I put a wrench in this side, that's better. Yeah, that's done the trick. Just got to get it lined up, and once it's started and we're away, yeah, we're started now. So yeah, just put a wrench in that side so you can jiggery pokery it a bit. Now, Michael doesn't give a specification for this bolt, but I think just a little nip is all that's needed. So yeah. So as you can see, I'm using a very short wrench here, and I'm holding it near the head, and I think that's more than enough there, and that is the Springer seat done. So let's try it out, eh? And yeah, that is it. That's fine for my weight, and I'm going to call that job done. So folks, that's it. Springer seat done on a trike bobber. I think I'll put my fuel tank on now, and we'll call that the next stage of the mods on the bike. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope you find this helpful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.